My dad cut me out of his will, so I took everything from his family. I, 32 am, was the firstborn son of a real estate tycoon. My mom, his first wife, passed away when I was just 3. I don't remember much, just warm hands, soft songs, and a gentle face that faded too soon. My dad remarried 2 years later. Let's call her Linda. A few years after they married, they had a son. Let's call him Ethan. Growing up, I thought we were a happy family. I loved my stepmom like she was my own. I treated Ethan like my little brother. But what I didn't know was, they never saw me the same way. Behind closed doors, Linda blamed me for everything. Every broken glass, every school call. Somehow, it was my fault. And she made sure my dad believed it. He was wrapped around her finger. At 12, after another one of her concerns, they sent me off to boarding school. The excuse was structure and discipline, but I knew better. It was exile. And still, every time I came home, I brought gifts. I helped around the house. I babysat Ethan, helped him with homework, told him stories at night like a real big brother should. But it was never enough. After high school, I got accepted into a top university on a near full scholarship. I worked nights at a local diner to pay the rest. I graduated top of my class, then joined a rising tech startup as one of the earliest hires. We built a real estate app that blew up. Meanwhile, Ethan coasted through a bottom-tier college and somehow managed to graduate near last. But none of that mattered to my dad. He was still the golden boy. Linda made sure of that. Then, the betrayal. At 31, I found out, through an uncle, that my dad had rewritten his will. Everything, the houses, the company, the stocks, was left to Linda and Ethan. I was written out completely. No phone call. No explanation. I could not believe it, and I had to find out for myself. I drove straight to the estate where I grew up. I stood outside the gate. Security came out and handed me a note. You're no longer welcome here. Signed by my own father. Linda stood on the balcony, smug. Ethan smirked and tossed a golf ball up and down in his hand. I didn't beg. I didn't argue. I left. But I didn't forget. I kept building. While Ethan mismanaged the family empire, making dumb deals, over-leveraging assets, burning investor trust, I built my own. I partnered with some friends from my startup days and launched a company that offered AI-powered real estate analytics. Within 2 years, we were the #1 name in the market. And then, one day, Linda called. The tone was different. Desperate. The business was collapsing. Ethan had driven it into the ground. Investors were threatening lawsuits. Employees were quitting. They needed help. And, for some reason, they thought I would be the one to save them. Out of respect for the man I used to idolize, I agreed. I stepped in, fixed the bleeding parts of the company, brought back key clients, and stabilized the business in less than a year. And when the company was doing well again, they fired me. No warning. Just a cold email. Thank you for your service. Apparently, they didn't want old wounds confusing the company's future. I said nothing. My own company was doing great at the time too. We also got into actual real estate development by this time. And I started buying. Quietly, through proxies and friends, I bought up their debt, then their suppliers. Then I acquired the commercial properties tied to their name. The final move? I bought the building their company headquarters sat in. One day, I walked into the front office. Ethan was sitting behind the front desk, bags under his eyes, clearly hungover. Hey man, he stammered. Look. I cut him off. Get your stuff out. You've got 30 minutes. He thought I was bluffing. I wasn't. A week later, I froze their accounts. Legally took back the company name. Auctioned the rights. They were left with nothing. Then, I saw the article. Real estate mogul passes away at 76. It was my father. I didn't get a call. Not even a text. Through my uncle, I found out where he was buried, and I went there to pay my respects. No matter what he had done, he was my father and brought me to this world. I could never repay that. 2 days later, Linda showed up at my new office. Her expensive outfit couldn't hide the panic in her face. You've made your point, she said. We're completely ruined. You made that point years ago, I said, calm as ice. He was your father, she said. No, I replied. He used to be, now he is dead. And because of you, I could not even say goodbye to him. Tears welled up in her eyes. You can't do this to your own family. I laughed. Family? You kicked me out. Lied about me. Took everything from me. This is me just closing the door you left open. She left without another word. Ethan tried to reach out too. Emails, calls, even a handwritten letter. I never replied. They lost everything. House, business, reputation. Turns out Ethan had racked up debt with private lenders. Everything was repossessed. Nothing left but regret. And me? I'm just getting started. Blood makes you related. Loyalty makes you family. Betrayal may bury a good heart, but it also builds an unbreakable one.